Boys and girls, welcome back. Um, Still Friday night. Let's go ahead and get into these games. We had some fun action today so far, but we have done well. Our video picks we gave out yesterday. Just a quick recap to go over. And again, those are leans. These are all leans when they come to you on the video. It's just a quick glance at this without really diving into the stats. And again, we give out our official picks on Twitter, which I think we're having a good day today as well with those. But quickly just going through it, Mississippi or Baylor plus 1.5, got it. Bama by 22, they looked like crap. Lipscomb under 64 points, cash. Colorado State minus 2.5, cash. Vandy and St. Mary's, I gave out -4. Josh had the under. They won by 3, and the under hit. So take that for what it is. Ole Miss +2, controversial pick. Everybody was on North Carolina. Ole Miss beat them easily. Forget the final score. They beat them easily. So we didn't even need the 2 points. Grand Canyon team total over. They could get nothing going against Maryland. That was one of the more shocking games. I'll get into that real quick in a minute. Norfolk State team total over 63.5. Florida, I knew would just jump out too many points, and Norfolk could kind of come from behind like Alabama State did, throw up a number. Kentucky team total over 81. Kentucky couldn't buy a bucket. It still ended on 76. So they got close to it, but they're an over team. We'll look at them again. New Mexico +4. I got so much hate on the internet for that. Everyone's like, Marquette. They didn't need the 4 points. I told you guys that yesterday. That's one of the bets we gave out today. They're an outright winner easily. Akron and Arizona, everyone was on the over. The over got gassed up to 167. It went under. I told you, under. And then we got some live games right now. I took Illinois -3. They look good right now. Michigan State -17. They're in a dogfight with Bryant. Oregon team total over 72.5. I think they scored 40-something in the first half. Hopefully Liberty puts up some sort of fight so that Oregon is able to keep scoring. And then Oklahoma +5.5. They're in a dogfight with Connecticut right now, too, as I'm recording this. So potential to win another, 10-11 bets just on these quick videos that we're giving out. So I'm going to give you what I got for Saturday. Quickly, just my what I wanted to go with here. We've got 8 games to cover on Saturday. So the tournament is starting to wind down as far as you're going to get one game on at a time for most of tomorrow. Outside of the middle, they sandwich 2 games together and they kind of roll them over on top of each other. And at that point, that's when you can kind of transition into the nightcap. Real quick recap of today and what we saw. New Mexico, super impressive. I know a lot of people didn't like Marquette, didn't expect them to go far anyway. When you play in a conference like the Big East and you play a team from the Mountain West like that who has struggled at getting out of the first round recently and just had a San Diego State team get blown out, I knew what to expect because I liked New Mexico all year. I kind of got my love for them from Josh. He would always just tell me, watch this team. They play well. Don't get lost in the numbers and who they're playing. And they still did play a good schedule, but they looked great today. They really get after it on the glass. They're long. They're defensive-minded. Kid Washington can turn you over and over and over again. And Dent is just an isolation bucket waiting to happen. They just have some really nice pieces. I like New Mexico a lot, so I was impressed by them. Grand Canyon sucked today, and it was partly Grand Canyon and partly Maryland. So Maryland's another team I was really impressed with today. An easy win against a Grand Canyon team that I thought was going to give them a dogfight. I thought we were going to get a higher scoring game, and Grand Canyon couldn't score, and all credit to Maryland. They got them at, arm's length, a double-digit lead, and just never even came close to relinquishing it. Just continued to pour on and on and on until the game was just completely out of question in the second half. So really like them. They beat a good team. Grand Canyon's a good team, and they beat them handily. Colorado State, another Mountain West team that we were on. Sucks that Memphis is without Hunter. Haggerty didn't have it today. And Colorado State's deep. They got a deep roster. So they were impressive. I knew they were good. Clearly, they were one of the hotter teams coming into the tournament, but they showed me a lot today. Really like this team. Just going forward, I really like them. They're a team we want to look at on Sunday as far as a bettable option. And we'll get to those tomorrow. Last point I wanted to make real quick, is Alabama in trouble? They didn't look good today. St. Mary's didn't play their best game, but they took care of Vandy in the style that they play, which is very slow, choking down a team. And I think they can do the same thing to Alabama. I have St. Mary's winning in my bracket, and I think that they get it done. I do think Bama's in trouble. I think unless Grant Nelson plays, they're not going to have answers for the front court sides of St. Mary's. They're going to be able to get some offensive rebounds. I believe that Alabama gave up 16 offensive rebounds to Robert Morris today. So if you follow St. Mary's at all, you know they're going to hit the glass. And if you're going to give that team second chance opportunities and free throws and stuff like that, they can make Alabama pay for that. And Alabama almost paid today. So watch out for that one tomorrow. Or excuse me, on Sunday. Just watch out for that game. We'll have more on that one. But let's get into these 8 that we have. It's going to be a real quick video here since we just have 8 games. And again, these are just quick leans here. We'll give out our official picks tomorrow. I imagine we'll have 4 or 5. It's not going to be every one of these, but these are what we like for right now. So first one is America's darling at the moment, McNeese. Purdue is not a wildly athletic team, and I think McNeese's biggest strength is they play with a lot of energy. They aren't the most skilled team at finishing. They're not the best passing team. You can't pinpoint one thing they do really well, but they try. And I know that sounds stupid, but Purdue, again, is a tournament team that has choked in the past. I think there were points in that High Point game in the first half where High Point could have got them, and we took High Point in the first half against them. And I just feel the same way here, except now I've seen this team, McNeese, play in the tournament, and they weren't scared. They came out and they took that game from Clemson. I don't think they can beat Purdue, and maybe they could. I don't want to say they can't, but I do think that early on in that game they can get out there and they can give them all that they want to handle in the beginning part of this game, and that's what we're looking for here with this bet. Is this quickly became one. Lost you there. One of those things where I just really, really, really liked what they were doing, McNeese in the beginning of the Clemson game, and I think Clemson is a better team than Purdue. So I'm on the high lookout here for what McNeese can do against Purdue in the first half tomorrow. One of my favorite bets. Second game we're going to get to is it's more of a I really like the team that this team is playing. And so it's me liking them, but not enough to take one of their sides. They're playing St. John's. Arkansas is playing St. John's. I think St. John's comes out, and I think they know their style. Arkansas has got a lot of athletic guys. They're a scrappy team. They're going to fight for loose balls, second chance opportunities. They were impressive. We took them day one to beat Kansas. We took them plus 5.5. They beat them outright, obviously, because they're still here. But St. John's is really legit team, and they're really legit defensively. And I just think this number is way too high. I think, and by way too high, 6, 7 points, which is a lot. I think Arkansas is more of like 63. I think I could see like 70 to 63 in this game, something like that. But them to score 70 points would mean that they're going to win, and I don't think they're going to beat St. John's. So that's purely as far as I had to look into this game. Again, I haven't dove into any of the numbers and kind of seen what they do against teams that are primarily half court based, because Arkansas, again, they want to get out and run. St. John's doesn't really allow that to happen. Second chance opportunities. St. John's a great rebounding team. St. John's isn't a good free throw shooting team, but that doesn't change anything here. It's kind of why I'm off of the St. John's bandwagon as far as like taking them on the money line is way too large of a number. Taking them on the spread is way too large of a number. 7. I think that's right, and I don't want to mess with that. The total is 145, which lets me know that they think St. John's will have to score a little bit, and I'm not saying they're going to Houston them. They're not going to hold this team to 55 points, but I think they're going to get them in the low 60s here. So I like this number. It's not my favorite pick on the board. There are 8 picks, but this one, I don't think this is a bad play. If you want to run out and put this one out, I don't mind this. I think this number actually may move down tomorrow as they kind of are able to digest. And so you're getting value now if you're able to get this number tonight or first thing in the morning before lots of people get on it. Because I think people are going to see that number and think the same thing. This is too many points. So, yeah, we're going to go with Arkansas team total under 69.5. Nice, 69. Moving on to the third game, and I'm not impressed by Michigan at all. I'm not really impressed by Texas A&M either. I just think they hit the glass hard. I think Michigan's big men have cement feet. I think they should have lost to UC San Diego. I took UC San Diego. They backdoor covered the line. The line was -2, sometimes -2.5. They won by 3. UC San Diego was right there at the end of that game. Michigan relied completely on Donaldson shooting 3-pointers, and then Wolf and Golden just big bodying people on the inside of the paint, and they're not going to do that to Texas A&M, not at all. Texas A&M has a great defense. They are number 2 in offensive rebounding in the country. They're a top 10 rebounding team in the country, and they're just not going to let Michigan push them around on the inside. And when push comes to shove, I like Texas A&M's backcourt way better. I think that's where you're going to get the job done. And I think 3 points is too short. I think it should be more like 4.5 or 5. It may go up tomorrow. Michigan winning the Big Ten tournament and then winning a very competitive game against a 12 seed doesn't say that they should be a short line like this. A&M is the lower seed in a better conference, and I've just seen enough with them. I think this is where their run stops anyway, but I like them to win this game. So 3 points, give me that. I'm on A&M. Next one is going to be a short, quick one. Both these teams play defense. The total's up a little bit higher than the last Drake game was. Drake absolutely suffocated Missouri. Playing Texas Tech, who I alluded to yesterday, maybe the day before. I just alluded to the fact that Texas Tech, Iowa State, Houston, they all play that very similar brand of basketball. They can outscore you, but they prefer to hang their hat on the defensive end of the court, especially when their shot isn't falling. They can always rely on their defense. Well, Drake is the calling card of this. They would be the blueprint. If you watch what they did to Missouri, holding them under 60 points, they can certainly do that to Texas A&M. To Texas Tech. And I think Drake has a real chance of winning this game too. I love Texas Tech. I really, really do. I think that they just have a really, really good squad, but I think Drake they know exactly who they are every single game, whereas Texas Tech kind of is a go with the flow type of team where they would look at things and say, hey, do we need to be offensive tonight? Do we need to play defense tonight? What's working best for us? Where Drake is just going to continue to play the same. And you're going to give me more than 5 points with them. I don't see how. I don't see how Drake doesn't cover this number. This is one of those I could be completely wrong. They could get blown out, but their style of play doesn't really liken to a blowout against a team that will oblige. They will match them. They could have a 62-57 game, and it's comfortable with both teams. And Texas A&M wins and Drake covers. I wouldn't be surprised by something like that. So give me the points. And again, Drake won the battle with Kendrick Lamar. He had the better song. I even heard Not Like Us today. And outside of the beat, that song is ass cheeks. So, shoot me down for that one. But, Drake took care of that one, and they're going to take care of this one tomorrow. All right, moving on to the next game. We're blazing through these. We're on the back half of these. This is a heavyweight matchup, Creighton and Auburn. This is just purely off of what I saw from Creighton. I know Louisville and Auburn are different teams, but they play very similar style of basketball defensively. They can get after the ball off the glass. They love to switch pick and roll because they have good defenders. But Creighton's kind of got that high pick and roll down with Kalkbrenner. And if Broome is going to switch onto Ashworth, Ashworth's either going to go past him or they're going to just dump the ball into Kalkbrenner, and I could see him having a big day. And then you got Neal, who's hitting shots, and if he's hitting shots too, I just think this number is too low. I think it should be more like 76, 77. I think that you can expect Auburn to win this game. The spread is 9.5. I think Creighton might cover that too. I think Auburn wins the game again, number 1 seed. But the way Creighton can score the ball, they don't have to play the same game they played against Louisville. I don't need them to score 90 points. I need them to score 72 points. And I just don't think they have that big of a regression between Louisville and Auburn as far as the defensive end of the court goes. I don't think Auburn can control Creighton offensively. So I don't think they get to dictate the entire game. Can they slow it down? Sure. And that's what this number says, is a team who's capable of scoring 90. We think they might be slowed down to 70. I don't know. Outside of Houston and Drake, there really aren't too many teams that are going to completely grind your offense down to where you're uncomfortable. And I think Creighton's got too many weapons and they're playing well. I'll put it out as an upset alert, Creighton. I may even sprinkle a little bit on the money line. Probably will take them plus 9.5. But for this video, I think this is the best bet out of all of those. Is just they're going to get to this number, because if they're going to win the game or cover 9.5, I think it's them going over this number. Let's move on to another one, a competitive game. 2 big teams. The number's 1, so I'm just putting Wisconsin money line. You want to take a -1. It's probably the same. They're taking on BYU. The game is in Denver. BYU, again, home court advantage, which is why this number is not 6. I just think Wisconsin is okay. They're acclimated to having played a game already, and so there's no surprise anymore. No altitude surprises. I love the way they play offense. Both these teams can light it up. I think the total, if I had it here right, was over 155. So they're expecting fireworks in this game. And I just think Wisconsin is the more polished team, more tournament-ready team. I like them to win this game comfortably. I could see them winning by 10. I can't see BYU winning by more than 3 or 4. So I just like the Wisconsin team better from that aspect. So short and sweet there, Wisconsin, money line, -1, whatever way you want to take it. Let's go on to the two fireworks games at the late end of the evening. The best game of the day, in my opinion, is here. We have, and you've heard me talk about Houston at length in several of the videos. Gonzaga yesterday was the team that impressed me the most, but Houston was on that list as well, and I think this is a heavyweight clash. The thing that gets me here is the total's up a little bit higher than I would expect in a Houston game. It's 139. Houston is favored by 5. I really love Houston by 5. I think they win the game by 5. But I think in the first half, just to be safe, I think Houston is going to come out and put that defensive imprint on the game early because Gonzaga is like, they need a kill switch. If you let that offense get rolling early, you're going to be chasing them. And can Houston put up points? Sure, they can. Gonzaga doesn't play any defense. But ask Gonzaga about St. Mary's. They did beat them in the West Coast Conference Championship game, but they lost twice to them. And St. Mary's plays the same style of basketball that Houston does, just minus the offensive firepower. So this is probably Kelvin Sampson's best offensive team, and I think this is going to be the game that they've been most up for all year. Not in terms of like their hype because anything other than the tournament, but Gonzaga is a big brand, and I think they're eager to show like our defense can take care of this offense, and I just like them to get out early. I think Gonzaga could claw their way back into this game and make it a game in the second half, but Houston ends up finishing the deal late. But I'd rather take Houston early to come out and set the tone as the 1 seed. I think if anybody's going to put the game away early, it's Houston, and I think that they could just really frustrate Gonzaga at the beginning of the game. And I think this number is too small. I think it should be more 4.5 in the first half and like 7 for the game. But I get Gonzaga just scored a bunch of points and they looked great. But Houston did too. They gave up 40 points. I get it's Edwardsville, but that defense was howling. So anyway, Houston minus 2.5. Then let's get you to the final game here of the night. We got UCLA taking on Tennessee. I wanted to attack this game in 2 different ways. I like the same bet that I just liked for Houston. I like Tennessee minus 2.5 in the first half. I think that they come out and both those teams are defensive-minded teams. Tennessee's just got a little bit more offense. UCLA did look good in their first game. I will give them credit. Utah State is a semi-formidable opponent, but this is a big step up in class for them. I know Tennessee played Wofford, and UCLA is a big step up in class for them, but I just think Tennessee is one of those teams that could have been a 1 seed, taking on a 5 seed team that I'm iffy about. I'm not as on UC or a 7 seed, excuse me. I think I'm not as on UCLA at all as I would be on Tennessee, and this is a short number to me, 5. Again, all these numbers are short outside the Creighton game, and I don't understand that one. I understand that one the least. But with this one, I just think Tennessee is better in most facets of the game, and I'm going to take them to grind out the long haul. If you want to take Tennessee minus 2.5 in the first half, I think that's also a good play. I think that they frustrate UCLA early. They can't get a lot of points scored in the first half. They may make a run in the second half a little bit, but I think Tennessee's offense will prove to be too much in the long haul. So I like that one there. So as the ticker's going by on the bottom, you can see there, but those are the 8 games we got tomorrow. They're going to be staggered out from 12 to 10. So there's always something on. There's no breaks really. And it's Saturday. Kick your feet up, watch college basketball. Let's go. We are going to get half of the Sweet 16 done tomorrow. So once these games are over, you'll have one half of the Sweet 16 ready for Saturday and Sunday action. I mean, for next week's action. So these teams that win this game here tomorrow are going to get a nice break until Thursday next week. So these teams are going to give it everything they got. So it should be a great day of basketball. Let's go make some money. Follow us on Twitter, Spreads and Props. We will give out our official picks there tomorrow before tip-off. And this is Derek signing off. You guys have a great evening and have a beer, man. Enjoy the rest of these games. Let's go.